Hey boys, welcome back to some Nrl Supercoach 2022, and it's going to be the round 18 review, and we had a fantastic week. As you can see, we cracked the 1500. I downgraded slightly. I was on like 1520 something when I was looking on Sunday RV, but then it downgraded a little bit to 1508, which is still stellar, and you know what I did. Getting a huge score like that. Obviously I got the Manu double points for almost 400 from him, and then the rest of the team just did pretty well as well. It was a very good week. Unfortunately, I don't have a couple of the big scorers, but I had most of them, and it was a good week. So yeah, our rank has shot up. We're back 262 overall. Obviously, a couple of poor weeks. I mean, I said last week, I had a couple of poor weeks. I had an unlucky week before the bye where I lost a few places, and then the bye week, I just didn't have that many numbers, so it was a bit of a struggle. So two down weeks, but I was confident in the team going forward, and I was hoping to push my way back up, but I wasn't expecting to to shoot up like that. But yeah, back up to 262, and I feel like I've got to be close to like a lot of other people around that 100 to where I am. I feel like I made up a lot of ground with that big score, because I don't think it was that many people that captained or vice captained Manu. So yeah, it was good stuff overall. We will go through the team. We'll go through how we went overall. Obviously, one key injury coming out of this game, and we all know who it is. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna lie. I was very tempted 2 weeks ago to go with the pod move of Latrell Mitchell over Pappenhausen, and oh man, I would have been killing it if and obviously, it's ifs and buts. Like, obviously, if you do the right thing, you'd be killing it, but I was so close to going Mitchell over Pappenhausen, but I just couldn't. I mean, the fact Pappenhausen's his ceiling is just that much higher than Mitchell. Like, Mitchell has been incredible, but he got like 120 odd points. Like, when Pappenhausen kills it, he gets almost double 100. So I just couldn't risk the ceiling, but unfortunately Pappenhausen didn't score that well, and then obviously in this week he got injured, suffering a pretty gnarly knee injury, dude. That would fucking hurt. Just knee-on-knee contact to break the patella. Stuff that. But, I guess thankfully it's not a ligament injury, because I don't know. I mean, surely ligaments are way worse than a break. It's not good, but it's not as bad as doing your ACL or your PCL. So, yeah, somewhat okay news, I guess. But still poor news for the Storm and Pappenhausen. But let's go through the team. Harry Grant 66. I was very worried. Thankfully he got that sneaky little try. So I saw, this is so funny, because I was watching that game and I was losing my mind a little bit, because the commentators didn't say anything about it. They literally didn't comment about it at all. But watching it live, I was like, when it happened, I was like, there was a fucking whistle. And there was a whistle, and the Raiders players just stopped, and Harry Grant scored. And I was loving life. But, you saw the replay, and the ref didn't blow a whistle or anything, and they didn't really do it in, like, fast motion again, so that you didn't hear the whistle. But I was like, there was definitely a whistle, and the commentators never said anything about the Raiders players just standing there. They it's like they didn't realize that the Raiders defense just literally stopped and didn't move to make the tackle. It was very strange that they didn't realize what had happened. But yeah, I was very thankful that he got that try, because he was not doing too well other than that. So 66, I'll take it. McInnes, I did not play, got 54. It's fine. I still think McInnes is a guy to move on, but at the moment he's not really costing me too much cash. He's a decent play if I need him, so it is what it is. Isaiah Papali'i, 82 points. Once again, just the best front rower in the game, I would say. Him and Tarpany, but I just think Papali'i is the top. He's the top echelon. Jason Tamalolo, 56. Robbed of so many more points. That was a definite try. I've seen so many idiot Shark fans come out and say the support player got in front of the man. Shut the fuck up. You're so stupid. The Shark, every normal person is like, that's a try. And then in the reply, and this is on Twitter, like in the replies, you see a dumb fucking Sharks profile picture, and he was slightly in front, so that means it was a definite penalty. And it's like, you fucking idiot. But they got the call, so who's laughing, I guess. But Tamalolo, 56, disappointing, but it is what it is. Max King, again, 50, not bad. Polly, 31. He's Polly is probably going to be the one guy that's going to be slightly potentially a bit of an AE nightmare, but not too bad. Like, I think he was my AE this week, but not by that much. Moving on to the back rollers, Adam Olakawatu, 82. Adam Elliott, 57. He was on he must have downgraded so much. I don't know what happened, but I could have sworn he was on 70. He was on 80 points. He was on 80 points watching this game live. I don't know what the hell happened. Yeah. Am I going crazy? He was definitely on so many points during the game, and then 57. It's not bad, but he got downgraded a lot. And then Dave Fafita, he upgraded a lot. He was on 50 odd, didn't really do much, but it's funny because I know a lot of people would come out and say the unicorn points, but watching the game, he didn't really do anything that second half, but the first half, and even the second half to a bit, he had plenty of tackle busts, even though he didn't really do too much. I think the stats were right that he should have had about 70 points. It was just a weird one where he was only on 50 points after the game. Adam Elliott and Fifita just sort of backflip there. But I like the pod move of bringing Fifita in. It would have been beautiful if he got a try and got 100 points, because I feel like now he got 75 points. I think a lot of people are going to pick Fifita up and, didn't really get to capitalize on his poddish back row status. But yeah, he's a good pickup now. I mean, he lost a bit of cash because obviously he must have had a low score the week before he got injured, obviously. So yeah, 575k for Fifita. I mean, that's a gimme. If you're looking for a back row option, Fifita is just the man to get, in my opinion. Angus Crichton, 74. He could have scored a try as well and got a few more points, but happy with that. And I was happy I played him. I didn't know who to play this week, but I think I did a pretty decent job of picking the reserves, honestly. So yeah, Crichton, 74. Mitch Barnett, 38. So obviously I ended up trading Talakai out last week. I was going to wait to see if Barnett made a bit more cash. He made, what did he make? A little bit of cash. He made $600, so I'm glad he didn't lose money, but it's definitely the week I'm getting rid of Barnett, and who I'm getting in. Ben Trebojevic doesn't play, which is nice, so we've got that AE potential there. Nico Hines, 80 points, Cameron Munster, 81, and Dylan Brown, 70. We just did really well in the halves department. Didn't have, Cherry Evans got 100, Cody Walker... What did Walker get? He probably got about 80 as well. But yeah, I'm happy with the halves. I could... Well, there's a... Yeah, we'll discuss it in a second, but the Pappenhausen injury, there is a potential to bring in a half rather than a fullback with Nico Hines as potential. We could swing Hines down to fullback, but we'll have a look at that. But here's where it gets nice and juicy. We had Joey Manu, 191. He was on I saw at the end of the game, he was on, I think, 170. And I was just like, there is no way he doesn't get upgraded here. Looking at his stats, the amount of tackle breaks, the runs, you just knew he was going to get updated to almost 200 points. And, I mean, even if it didn't, I was definitely going to loop 170 points. So yeah, and I mean, I'll say it. I'll bang on this drum again, and it obviously worked in my favor this week. But I still hate the captaincy. I hate the way the captaincy points work in this game. I've said it for ages now. Every year I dislike it. I feel like the game has evolved for these high ceiling points that the captaincy is just such a big swing, dude. I mean, and obviously I'm happy this week that it worked out in my favor, but you could have had such a good week and you captain Pappenhausen and you're gone. That's your season done. I just don't like the way the captaincy works with the double points and just with the high ceilings of certain players. But it is what it is. I don't see them changing it because they never have before, but I don't know. I hope they do. I hope they look at it. I hope more people, I don't know. I feel like when I brought it up, other people have had an issue with the captaincy as well, but I don't know if the majority of Supercoach fans think anything of the captaincy, or it's just one of those things. Ruben Garrick, 122. I mean, he was a good pickup. I picked him up ages ago, and he's definitely just maintained that keeper status without even goal kicking. Fucking Cherry Evans took over the goal kicking with Garrick having a bit of a, what do you have, I don't know, thigh issue or something like that. So yeah, he could have had way more points if he was kicking goals as well, but pretty darn good. Mike Acevo, 67. Sivo was a frustrating watch, dude, because he's for how big and powerful he is, he doesn't like to get involved. He doesn't like to get involved too much, which annoys me because I'm just take some more runs, just get some more tackle busts. But the Eels, whenever they have a good run, I mean, Sivo is just a really good play because he scores tries, and he did well this week. Grant Anderson, the MVP this week, being my captain and allowing the Joey Manu big score. Joseph Swiley was my other reserve, 50 points. Isaiah Tass, 54. And I said it the week I got Tass instead of Mulatalo. I think it was a good decision, and I feel pretty vindicated. I mean, I think Mulatalo, he obviously didn't score well this week. He probably got 30-odd. But Tass, he's a good player, and ideally I don't want to keep Tass till the end of the year, but if I don't have enough cash to upgrade him to another keeper, or we could nuff him out potentially, but I've already got enough in Anderson, so I'm probably not looking for that. But if I need Tass, I mean, he's a good play. He's got decent base stats. He obviously got that nice little try assist to bump up his points, but yeah, he's a solid play when the Rabbitohs have a good matchup, because that left-hand attack is obviously, very dangerous. It's always more Tass is the decoy and then Mitchell out the back with Johnston, but that they hit Tass occasionally and he's gonna get a couple of tries. And then poor old Pappenhausen, 34. So I was the start of this game, holy shit. So obviously I looped Manu, and I was just thinking Pappenhausen's gonna come out and get a double 100, and my god, Cameron Munster just bang off the left foot twice with the offload, put Pappenhausen away. 2 line breaks in the opening 5 minutes. He bombed a try, Pappenhausen. I don't know what he was doing, but he absolutely bombed a try assist. I was watching that and I'm like, oh my god, Pappenhausen is going to absolutely monster this. But it was sort of it's bad, but it was also sort of good, because obviously a lot of people captain Pappenhausen, so I obviously didn't want him injured, and I was very disappointed. But you know, for Supercoach wise, I was sort of like, that's pretty good. Obviously, the one annoying thing is that a lot of people, instead of going Pappenhausen, they picked up Mitchell, and that turned out to be a absolute masterstroke for those guys. And then Tedesco, 99 points, very good. I'm happy with the pickup there. You know, I guess that was the other one I could have gone Mitchell instead of Tedesco, but I mean, Mitchell got 125, Tedesco 99. You know, not too much difference. And I mean, Tedesco didn't get 2 tries. I think he got 1 try. But yeah, it's just sort of like Mitchell. I love Mitchell, but he doesn't quite have the ceiling because he doesn't take like 20 runs a game. He's more like that 10 runs a game type guy. Obviously, the goal kicking's a nice plus, but if he doesn't get those massive attacking stats, you know, it's not quite there for him. But I still think Mitchell, I don't know. We'll look at the draws, honestly. We'll look at the run into the finals. But yeah, that's how it went. That's how the team lined up. So first trade, clearly, is Mitch Barnett has got to go. And the man we're bringing up, Joe Tarpany, he somehow still got, I can't even afford him. Oh, no. That's honestly, it's not good, but I do have to trade out Pappenhausen this week, and Pappenhausen is pretty much more expensive than everyone I'm looking at, so that actually works out alright, but I'm definitely trading out Barnett for Tarpany. I mean, the man, 74 points, dude. He's just absolutely killing it. I mean, Kickow, he got a big 100, but yeah, it was against the Tigers, and obviously without the Panthers stars, like Kickow sort of, to start the game, he was just the main man. So I think, yeah, he's just the guy to get. Tarpany has just been absolutely killing it. Like, he didn't play that many minutes this game, I felt like. He only played 57. He played 57. His minutes they've been up and down, but his points have just been crazy. Like 67 the week before, only 45 against the Knights. He got 82, 54 minutes. Like, he's only been playing like 40, 50 minutes and just absolutely killing it. So, you know, I went with Fafita as a pod over Tarpany last week. Unfortunately, it didn't really benefit. It didn't hinder because they both got the same points, but yeah, I still think it was the right decision because I felt like Fafita potentially he could have gone 100 plus. Tarpany not so much. Like, he's more that just 70 plus guy every week. So we don't have quite the cash. So we'll look at so Pappenhausen first. So this is where it gets interesting. So obviously we could swing Hines down and look for a half, or we could go with a fullback option. So Pappenhausen's 823. Who is the highest? Okay, good. Pappenhausen is still the highest paid player. So Manu, we've got obviously no Tommy. Ruben, we've got Hines, we've got Mitchell is the man. I mean, I feel like Mitchell's, he's gonna soar. Like, he's still only owned by 13%, but with this Pappenhausen injury, surely Mitchell is going to absolutely explode in ownership, which I just feel like my position in the ranks now, it doesn't really benefit me to go with a pod. Like, I was thinking potentially, you know, go with like a Ponga, honestly. I mean, you got Holmes. I don't hate a Holmes pod, but I just, the thing is that what's the point, you know? Like, Holmes has been killing it, but like, Holmes' ceiling, if we look at his points, you know, he's got a couple of, you know, 106, a 92, a 99, a 86, but like, he's not going 150. Mitchell is doing the same as Holmes, if not better. So there's just no real reason to go with a pod player like a Holmes. They do have a decent run. Tigers, Dragons, Bulldogs, and then Warriors are very easy. But nah, there's just no point. There's just no point. Even a Scott Drinkwater, he just has those potential low scores. I was thinking maybe of where is he? How cheap is he? Where the hell is he? Where the hell's Ponga? Where the hell is he? Am I blind? There he is. Okay. I mean, he's under 500k. You just can't. I mean, the Knights are so bad. Ponga has had, just not a great year either. Like, his points, he's got a 7. Like, his highest score, 122. And he got a 9. He got a 9 against the Sharks. What the hell happened there? And then he obviously got injured. Or he got knocked out, I think, in that one. By Kick-Out steaming through. But yeah, they don't have honestly, they have a pretty good draw, which is the reason I was sort of tempted. I mean, the Roosters leaking points, Bulldogs, Tigers, Broncos, Raiders, Gold Coast Sharks. But again, like, it saves me a lot of money, but I don't. The money would be nice, but I just feel like there's no reason not to get Mitchell. Although, like I said, if we look at the halves, I actually feel like the halves potentially have a few more decent pods. So Cherry Evans, only 4.5% owned. He's had a great year. He's averaging 70. The one issue is that, I mean, surely Garrick is going to retain the kicking duties eventually. And I feel like Cherry Evans just, I don't know. He's been on fire. And I mean, even his scores, like his lowest of 29, that's an anomaly. And it's against the Storm. The rest have been, 50, 57's the lowest. And the rest have been 60 plus. And then fairly high plus. Who's he got? Dragons, Roosters, Parramatta, Gold Coast, Sharks. I mean, any team with the Gold Coast coming up is like really nice. But I just find it hard not to go Mitchell, dude. I find it hard. Mitchell, Moses, he's got a good ceiling. I think the only other guy, Cherry Evans or Moses, would be guys that I would go as a bit of a pod. But even I mean, Moses is owned by 15.8%, so he's not even really a pod at this point. And they have... It's a bit of a tough run, actually. I don't really like the Moses pickups. I mean, I was looking at some potentially, but nah, I just think Mitchell is the way to go. Like, I feel like Mitchell is going to have a couple of low weeks because and I wouldn't be surprised. And this is why it's sort of good. I've got trades left. Like, I'm definitely, I'm getting low, but I've got trades remaining. I feel like Mitchell he's due for a suspension. He's due to do something stupid, dude. So, I'm always a little concerned. But they have, Melbourne, they're just not the same as they used to be. Sharks, Warriors, Parramatta, Panthers. So it is a tough run. It is a tough run, I'm not going to lie, but even against the Parramatta Eels, and even, like, honestly, I just feel like Mitchell's a bit matchup proof. Like, I don't really see even the better teams containing Mitchell. He'll fire up. I feel like he'll fire up against a good team. So I just think it's a no-brainer. I feel like Mitchell comes in and we get rid of Barnett for Joe Tarpany, and we'll have 93k in the bank, which is nice. I definitely would like potentially a better hooker and an outside back. But that's that's the team. I mean, that's the team done and dusted right there. Actually, Tarpany, you'd probably go Tarpany over Tamalolo at this point, wouldn't you? Tamalolo's been a bit... I don't know. I'll have to work out what I do there, but probably Tarpany in the front row, and then we decide if we play Tamalolo. I feel like that's probably the better option. But I mean, that's a good team. That's a good team. The like I said, the only position, who are we looking at? Panthers, Sharks, Roosters, Newcastle. Oh, you've got to play Suwali, right? And you probably play Taylor May. But yeah, that's pretty much the team, locked and loaded. I mean, it's going to be tough this week. I'm going to have... Oh, no. Let's just have a look at the options this week, because I've got everyone's back. Oh, man, oh, man. Nathan Cleary's back, so... All right, Mitchell Tedesco. Who am I going to captain? Probably... the Bunnies taking on Melbourne. Roosters Knight. I mean, you've got to... Oh, that's the... Oh, man. You've got to... Do you vice captain Manu again if he plays? I know there's a thing about his calf, so maybe... I don't think they rest him, though. Like, I don't think it's anything serious, but we'll see. We'll see. Probably Tedesco is probably the better vice captain out of these two at the moment, so obviously reserve Mitchell. Suwali Manu, I think against the Knights you've got to play. Garrick, definite. Sivo is against the Broncos. I feel like it's a good matchup, even though the Broncos have been good. I don't know. I feel like the Parramatta might put on a few points this game. But Taylor May is also a good play. We'll see. Cameron Munster, obvious. Nathan Cleary, obvious. Hines, I mean, definite reserve. Against the Panthers, maybe not. Maybe you don't. Maybe a bit of a anti-pod. You don't reserve Hines against the Panthers. I don't know. Fafita, Olakau'atu, Elliott, Crichton, Tamalolo. That's a pretty good back row now. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with that. Tarpany, Papali'i, Harry Grant. That's pretty good. And then Mitchell, Hines. I mean, you got to go Crichton, and then Tamalolo, Brown, May. I feel like Brown, but I like May as well. He didn't score a try this week, and he's due. So I feel like maybe you don't go Hines and do May. It's a bit of a risk, but is it like are the Sharks really going to score that many points with a fully strength Penrith team with plenty to play for after losing the Origin? But yeah, it's all looking pretty darn good. So the only, like I said, the positions we're looking at now, dummy half and the back line. So let's have a quick look, because everything else, I mean, maybe the second row, maybe like a Cameron Murray. Who else even is there? I don't know. Well, I mean, let's look at the top. Like, I mean, maybe a Kickout. We've got a lot of the top players, honestly. So I'm not stressing too much. But let's look at dummy halves. I mean, I think the only guy here is Damien Cook, in all honesty. I'm not really keen on anyone else. I mean, Aaron Clark. Aaron Clark playing at lock. I wouldn't get him, but I mean, you know, if he was starting lock, like that's pretty solid. But yeah, Damien Cook, he's $700K, so he's bloody expensive. I'm gonna need, the thing with Cook, I'm definitely gonna need to nuff someone out if I want to get Cook. Like, I'll need to generate more cash. So do I bother? Maybe. We'll see. It doesn't need to be done this week because they are taking on the Storm. So, you know, it's not necessarily a bad matchup for him, but I don't think he's going to... I'd be surprised if he goes absolutely bonkers. And then, yeah, Robson, not that keen on. Coruscant, I'm not keen on. Marshall King, even though he's been going well, I'm not keen on. The centre wing, there's definitely some potential players, for sure. So yeah, Manu, Garrick, we have Johnston. I'm not gonna have the cash to get Johnston, and I just don't want to get him. Like, I just feel like as soon as I get him, he won't score tries. Tago, I mean, we got rid of him. I'm not gonna bring him back. I mean, should I have kept him over May? Maybe, but I don't think so. I think Taylor May is still probably the guy to keep over those two, but we'll see at the end of the year. Taylor May is averaging slightly more. He's obviously got a few less points because he's played less games, I think. Yeah, he's only played 15, so I think Taylor May is still being the better option for now. I mean, he got 47 points, he didn't score a try, so I mean, he's an absolute keeper. Talakai obviously got rid of, even though, like, he should be... I don't know what's going to happen to Talakai. Mulatalo, I'm not that keen on. Who was I? I was definitely keen on someone. I mean, even like a Valentine Holmes for the run home potentially could be nice in the center wing department. Jesse Ramian, I couldn't do it, but he's been doing well. I feel like there was a guy that I was... Oh, that's right. I was definitely... I'm probably not going to be able to get him, but... Adam Dewey. Potentially. If I can somehow swing Isaiah Tass to Dewey... Oh, absolutely. And I wouldn't have minded doing it this week because obviously he's dropped a lot of cash, but, he's got that starting 5'8" position back. And he's a good player. Like, obviously he's played, 19 minutes, 48 minutes. He played the 80 against the Eels, but I think that was in the centers. So, yeah. And then the Tigers' run is not that bad. The Cowboys, Broncos, Knights... Yeah, after this Cowboys game, Broncos, Newcastle, Sharks, Roosters, Dragons, Raiders, it's not bad. Honestly, Dewey, after this week, I'll definitely be very tempted by potentially getting in Dewey. But then, yeah, anyone else, I'm not that keen on, honestly. I think the rest of it is pretty much stock standard because I've got enough centre wings anyway. So yeah, I think that's pretty much the team done. I think Cook, maybe if we, I don't know, if it's looking pretty good, we can maybe nuff out another second rower because we'll have enough players anyway. So we could potentially get in a Cook, but is it worth it? Maybe after this week. They got a pretty tough run though. That's the thing. So yeah, other than that, like I feel like I've been in a better position than I have in most years. I don't know. Most years I feel like I find myself trying to catch up a little bit of ground on players, but this year I'm like, I can actually look at potential like somewhat pods to bring in. But yeah, I think this week it's pretty much stock standard. Latrell Mitchell and Tarpany in, like that's two pretty good ins. Like obviously I didn't want to get rid of Pappenhausen, but that's not bad. That's not bad at all. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the Supercoach action. Make sure to like and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.